early yet to get a full overview of how the self-service app for the ongoing SIM registration works, but creating publicity around its deployment by the Ministry of Communications and the National Communications Authority will aid mobile telephony customers to be aware of its existence. And truly for some, they have no knowledge.
No, I don't know anything about it.
But you haven't heard that they said they will introduce an application on your phone that you can use and do some of the things that these people are doing with it?
No. I don't know it.
Already, service providers and technical experts have made some observations.
They are not using the near-field communication, which is the NFC. If you use the NFC, what it does is that it will extract every data from the Ghana card so that it could have pushed it through your system and you go through the process and do your registration. So this one, you don't need to go back to any telecommunication again. This is the self-registration app. So as soon as you're done, it tells you that your registration is successful.
Dr. Ken Ashigbi is Chief Executive for the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications.
The point at which you make the payment for the app should be deferred till the point where you have done everything. So you've done the likeness test, you've taken your biometrics, everything is entered, and they are sure that the registration is completed. Then at that point, they should ask you to pay. So by the time you make payment, then you actually have done the registration. There's a tendency that there could be some technical faults and all of that, and then you would have paid.
When you make payment and you start the whole process and there's a crash on the system or the system failed at a point, it means you've lost your money. I was expecting that it will credit your account, but it doesn't. But you and I know that when you're doing an online payment and everything, it is when you are getting to the latter part of the system.
While this is a problem, there's a bigger conversation about whether the centers that again have been deployed by the National Identification Authority have the numbers trooping in like before. There are concerns by the authority that the reduction in numbers at these centers could result in a number of people trooping in the last minute when the deadline comes up towards the end of September.
If you look at the numbers, for instance, a week or two to the end of that deadline, we're doing around 10,000, over 10,000 registration a day. And the figures that I've just gotten from my biometric and technology department, we are doing just about 4,000 now. We still have one clear month to the end of that deadline. And at this point, no one should be blaming the NIA.
This app is not only for Ghana. In Ghana, you have a lot more Android devices, but when you go into some other jurisdictions that Ghanaians are, a lot of the people use iOS. So it would be good if they also would go ahead and deploy the iOS.
There are fears, even though an app has been deployed, the lack of enthusiasm among SIM card owners to either go for their Ghana cards or register their lines could see a return of long queues at centers on the eve of the registration deadline.